One of the biggest investigations in Valley history, and tonight you're about to see the scandal is far from over.
In our politically charged investigation, we expose Phoenix police and county prosecutors inventing a gang, then falsely charging protesters as members. Tonight, ABC 15 chief investigator Dave Biscobing just obtained new texts and emails, and as you're about to see, they directly connect the county attorney, Phoenix police chief, and even a city councilman.
Ever since we broke the story, top leaders have distanced themselves from the decision to charge these protesters as gang members. But that will be harder to do after tonight. These never-before-seen texts and emails were included in new legal claims, and that means even more lawsuits are likely.
For months, this group of protesters faced criminal gang charges, dozens of years in prison. The case was built on wild lies and exaggerations. One example, police and prosecutors told a grand jury the group was like the Bloods, Crips, and Hells Angels. County Attorney Alistair Adell's office was ultimately responsible for bringing the false gang charges.
So for months, she was saying, I wasn't aware. I only had a snippet of information. I wasn't exactly aware. Did you ever believe that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Joe Larios is with Mass Liberation AZ. The activist organization defended the falsely charged protesters from the beginning. We brought him in to get reaction to the new evidence.
And here, just read these. These are text messages between the top staff.
Before we show you the proof, first a quick timeline. October 17th, 2020, the group of protesters is arrested. Then 10 days later, the grand jury indicted them on the gang charges. Between October 30th and November 3rd, Adell and her top aides exchanged repeated messages about how to respond to news reports. In this text, the PR director asks if the county attorney is okay with his statement. Adell responds, yes.
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about it, it's like she spent most of 2021 lying to the public about this.
Nowhere in the messages does it show Adell or her top staff were surprised at the gang charges or worried about them. The new notice of claim also shows MCAO executives kept a, quote, riot tracker spreadsheet to track protest cases for their own review.
Rather than questioning about whether or not she knew, it's clear she knew. I think the thing that we got to start looking at is how much time was she spending lying to buy time to essentially cover all of this up?
3 months after those emails and texts, with no one raising any alarms, on February 4th, 2021, we launched our politically charged investigation, proving the basis for those gang charges was absurd. Because some wore black, had umbrellas, and chanted all cops are bastards, they were labeled the ACAB gang. The newly released texts show panic set in at MCAO in the days after our investigation. On February 12th, MCAO's PR director texted Adell, from a PR perspective, these cases need to be dismissed. We have grossly overcharged these folks. Adell responded, I agree. The PR person added, Division Chief Vince Goddard is picking the wrong case to hold Antifa responsible. Basically, they found a protest. They saw some kids, mostly, that they didn't like. And they're like, hey, we're going to hold Antifa responsible by creating a fake gang.
It speaks to the culture of that office to politically prosecute, to go after political opponents.
Major breaking news, cases dismissed tonight.
February 12th. Also the day MCAO dropped the gang charges. Then the day after, the claim alleges one of Adell's top staffers forwarded her this text from Phoenix City Council member Sal DeCiccio. I didn't want to text you on a Saturday, but my phone has been ringing off the hook all morning from the police. One of the questions they had is, can we refile and what is needed?
Pretty clear that they're willing to weaponize their offices to go after the people that they don't like.
In response, Adell texted in part, I spoke to Britt last night and told him the same thing I told JW. While we are dismissing, we will be reevaluating the cases. I think you should simply just reiterate that to Sal. Britt London is the head of the police union. JW, the initials of Chief Jerry Williams.
Because Jerry Williams said, I didn't know, it was a bad idea. What do you think this says?
That she's lying about it.
I mean, she could have stepped in right here and spoke out and said this needs to go away.
Absolutely. There's been multiple moments to do the right thing, but it seems like they're all in on it and they would rather cover their own tracks.
Yeah, we're working through that in policy.
This was Chief Williams in August 2021, 6 months later, denouncing the gang charges publicly for the first time.
Gang charges against the demonstrators should have never happened. It was a bad idea. Systems were bypassed, personnel matters were bypassed.
Because of the intense embarrassment from our reports, both Phoenix and MCAO ordered outside investigations into the gang charges. But check those final reports that cost taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. You won't find the text messages and emails you just saw in this story.
Do you think that they turned him over? Do you think maybe they hit him? I mean, what do you think?
I mean, again, it does seem like there's a mass cover-up going on. And it does seem like the culture that's operating from both the city of Phoenix, Phoenix PD, and MCAO is that they're above the law, that they don't actually have to be accountable.
Because of our reporting, every one of these protest cases was dropped, and the Department of Justice opened an investigation into Phoenix PD. But it's evidence like you just saw that has community leaders asking why the DOJ isn't also investigating the county attorney's office, because none of this happens without MCAO. I'm investigator Dave Biskobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
So far, we have not heard back from MCAO or the city of Phoenix. Councilman Sal DeCiccio sent the following statement. The individuals who destroyed our city need to be prosecuted. Money from hardworking taxpayers was spent fixing the damages they created. This has become nothing more than a political theater targeting police by radical anti-police hate groups, end quote. And this is just the start of the latest chapter in our politically charged investigation. Dave will bring you continuing coverage, revealing more on what he found throughout the week. And catch up on the entire investigation. Politically Charged streaming now on ABC 15 smart TV channels and on abc15.com/protest.